Morning. This is Dr. Yonette coming to you this morning with another episode of Baby Talk. And I want to talk with you. Okay, I think there was a little glitch there, so let's start again. Good morning. Good morning. This is Dr. Yonette coming to you with another episode of Baby Talk. And today I want to talk with you about vaccinations and my baby. And we're going to have a two-part talk for this topic. Today we are talk about the vaccinations that you can expect your baby to have between 0 to 2 months old, or maybe we'll go to 4 months old. And then tomorrow we'll have a discussion with my guest, Dr. Domer, who's going to share with us his perspective on vaccines. You know, there's a lot of discussion around whether vaccines cause autism and have detrimental effects on a child. So we're going to invite him to come and share his expertise. Dr. Domer is a medical doctor by training. He is also a scientist, as he has done a significant amount of research in vaccinations. And he will be available tomorrow on this Zoom, on this Facebook Live, to share with us his perspective on vaccines. So let's get right into it and talk a little bit about vaccines that your baby will receive. Now, I know it's a very touchy topic, and when your baby is young and just born, for him to be receiving vaccines, it's a little heart-wrenching for new moms and dads. But at birth, your baby will get the first dose of hepatitis B. The first dose of hepatitis B will be given to your child at birth. And then when your child turns 1 to 2 months old, you will get from your doctor the second dose for your child in hepatitis B. Okay, so there are 2 doses at birth. Dose number 1, between 1 and 2 months old, you get dose number 2. Okay, let's go on to the next vaccine that your child will receive. It's the rotavirus, which will be given when your child turns 2 months old. So if your child is already 2, he or she will get the first dose, and then at 4 months old, he or she will receive the second dose. And I know, poor baby, some babies cry a lot after being vaccinated, and some babies are just a brief and they're fine. And I know that as you go through this process with your child, you will know that there are certain flags for you to look for to see how your child is reacting to the vaccine. Does the child have a fever? Does the child become fussy, or he or she's not eating for a while? Look for those signs. Your doctor will give you a list of things to look for. Some babies are affected and some babies are fine. The next vaccine that you want to be aware of is diphtheria, tetanus, and a cellular pertussis. So you're going to get from your doctor, your baby will get the first dose at 2 months old, and then the second dose at 4 months old. There's going to be another dose, 2 more doses for this particular vaccine, but they will come later. Now, the next dose of vaccine that I want you to consider is the Haemophilus influenza type B vaccine. And that vaccine is given to your child when he or she turns 2 months old, and then that's the first dose, and then the second dose will be administered at 4 months old. Okay, so we have 2 more vaccines to go. The pneumococcal conjugate vaccine will be given at 2 months old. That's the first dose. And then the second dose will be given when your child turns 4 months old. And then there are a couple other doses to be given later on in the child's life. And then the final vaccine that we're going to consider this morning for birth to 4 months old will be the inactive poliovirus. And the inactive poliovirus has 3 doses. Dose number 1 will be given at 2 months old. Dose number 2 will be given at 4 months old. And then the third dose will be administered later on in the child's life. Now, as I said earlier, vaccines are really, really very, very difficult for parents to deal with. But I want you to know that it's such an important aspect of the child's protection and growth and development, because the purpose of vaccines is to develop that immunity to the disease. So when the disease becomes prevalent or becomes a part of the child's community, he or she has developed the antibodies that they need to fight against this intrusion or this explosion of infections that may come into their system. And I know that for you, if you're a new mom or dad, you may not be aware, but many, many school systems require that your child is vaccinated before he or she attends school. So make sure that you're following up with your child's vaccination requirements. He or she is receiving the appropriate vaccines as they develop, and that you are taking care of your child in strategic ways to prepare your child for the outside world, because you know he or she, baby AJ or Andrew or Henry, will not be in your bosom and in your care for the rest of his life. So you have to prepare him or her to go out into the community. This is Dr. Yonette saying that you are doing a fantastic job taking care of your baby. Make sure that you do a great job taking care of you. Have a fantastic day.